So I have a couple, like 3 questions. I'd like you to kind of answer them in a way that like what it was, how much you lost or gained. So let's start with losers. So what happened there?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
let's move towards the more happy side on the other end.
Yeah, just recently I lost like $90,000 on a single trade of pump fund. When you are too early to short, it's super hard to carry the position.
This is what comes with trading.
It's crazy because I made $80,000 on Fartcoin in 1 week, and then literally the next week I lost this money, and then I lost more money with Solana. So I went like to the highest point and the lowest point within like 2 weeks.
And that gets on your nerves. So
Yeah,
going back to the most profitable trade, what it was, and how did that happen?
I think Fartcoin. I did really good.
Was that on Bybit or was
Yeah,
it?
it's always on Bybit. I think it was like $80,000. And
Okay.
but I mean, if I check it,
Single long position or was it shorting?
yeah, always long.
Long, okay. Yeah.
I mean, long is always better. Like you can make more money.
Hello traders, and welcome to the first Mubite podcast. Today featuring Jan, aka JNVCK, a crypto trader, influencer, and a well-known person in the Czech crypto industry. Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
No worries. We know Jan for quite some time, but those that aren't familiar with Jan, we'd like you to kind of explain who you are, what you do, and how you got into crypto in the first place and trading in general.
So right now I trade full time. I have one Discord community, mainly focused on Czech audience. Right now we plan also to go global. And I basically got into crypto in 2020 just by coincidence. I was actually working as a photographer and a student as well at the same time. And my friend, who was also a photographer, told me about Chainlink, very popular crypto back in the day. And he told me, buy this crypto, it's going to make 5 times the investment within this year. So I was like, yeah, why not? I was a pretty broke student, so I put all my money into it, like 2,000 euros. And but by the end of the summer, so like 2 months, it was down 50%.
It's down 50%. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
didn't make any.
No, because I bought it at $20, and that was the hype around DeFi and stuff. So it went down 50% on the spot position. And basically I started, talking about crypto on my socials as a photographer. I did make some money on NFTs during the 2021 mania. And
did you make your own? So when you were a photographer, did you make your own NFTs or did you kind of like?
Yes, I did. I did collaborate with Binance. They had like this NFT platform, and they reached out to me to create my photos for their collection.
Okay.
But it never got sold to anyone, so it wasn't like a big success. But yeah, I did make like $10,000 in a single weekend from the NFTs. So that was my like a moment for me to go all in. Unfortunately, that was the very top of the bull run. So I did do like a trading Telegram group for everyone, which was still in Czech, and that's what I did.
Okay. And so you said that you kind of started as a photographer, moving forward into becoming a crypto influencer / trader, starting with the NFTs. So when you're looking back at it, what made you swing into becoming a full-time trader? Whether trading in like a hustle?
Yeah, I saw it as like an opportunity for me, since I was doing photography since 2015, 2016, so already 4 or 5 years. And I was getting pretty burnt out. And it was, I always did, like, I was trying to be always like the first one to do something. So I was like taking photos with the drone of like nature and stuff. And I was like the first one to do it in Czech Republic, publicly. And I was getting like a lot of engagement and stuff. Then I moved to TikTok. I was like the first photographer on TikTok from Czech Republic. So I was always like trying to be somewhere where the market is not very saturated and it's easy to win. Because if you are a photographer right now, let's say in Czech Republic, and you do the same things that everyone is doing, like weddings, it's super difficult to actually be successful
Saturate,
and make a living. So that's why I moved to crypto, because I was like burnt out, and I was getting like a huge engagement on socials, but at the same time I was getting a ton of hate, even from like fellow photographers. They were hating on me because I was getting like numbers and stuff. So I was like, why am I even doing this? Because it wasn't paying me well. I was getting hate. So I was like, let's just move to crypto.
Right.
Obviously, I got burned a lot with like many scams with
I think we'll get into that.
FTX and stuff. But overall, it was a great decision.
Okay, so coming from a community of photographers going into the crypto community and being in Czech Republic in 2021, where obviously Bitcoin was probably well known around people, but when it comes to things like Ethereum, Solana, no one really knew they existed, or they knew it was by chance. So how was that compared to the world at the time, and how is it now when you went to events like the Bybit EU launch? And when you went to the Binance campus parties and
Yeah, I mean, it has changed a lot, and since basically 2021 when I started, uh, some of the people are still in crypto. Most of them are truly just gamblers, and when they see there's a bull run, they come, they try to make some money. Mostly they don't make any money and they leave.
yeah,
But I was like, the funny thing is, I started like making content regularly about crypto in like February 2022, which was like the worst time to start, since like the whole 2022 was just the cryptos dipping and was getting
downfall.
hacks and stuff. And so yeah, I mean, it has changed a lot. But I mean, some people like never changed. Like I'm still getting like most of people that get to know me are usually young people in their maybe 20s, 30s max, and then they come and they usually don't have a lot of money, which is great. That you guys can provide them
At Mubite,
this capital, because that's the biggest thing I see all the time. People have $1,000 maybe, and they want to make a living out of it, or at least some decent money.
Yeah,
And
I mean, obviously they could pump fund it or they could NFT it. Not anymore, but
and
they
it's
could meme it. But
I mean, yeah, it's I think it's better to go with the prop firm. Then the other thing you can do is, if you really want to make a lot of money, I'm not talking about like hundreds of dollars, but tens of thousands of dollars. You either need to risk a lot, so that means you go on pump fund, you go for like really small market cap coins. But the problem is, you always are gonna be, like the weaker part of the equation. So if there is a founder behind this project, they can always rug it. They can completely sell all their tokens, and you cannot really do anything about it. Whereas if you have bigger capital, you can speculate on things that are gonna be here maybe within the next 5-10 years, which is like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, which is, I would say, like much safer for people to do.
All right. So I think we touched on something there. The crypto community is being scrutinized by the centralized banking systems and people that are the good old economy kind of style, scrutinizing cryptocurrency as being very very vague in definitions and kind of not moving forward with the system. So what I'd like to touch upon is just the difference between now and 2021, and kind of like see now that Bybit is doing Bybit EU and they're trying to be MiCA compliant, they're really doing all these things. Do you think that crypto in general is moving towards a more trusted commodity or becoming something along those lines?
I mean, yeah, the progress is being made for sure. Some of these regulations are, in my opinion, just useless. And if people want to gamble and lose money, they will lose money anyways.
Right. Yeah.
And the scams are just gonna be labeled differently.
Okay.
So it is better for sure. But at the same time, there is things like like right now on Bybit EU, you cannot trade futures. So it's gonna be hopefully there by the end of the year. But
So that's a big news for you guys. If you
in my mind, it doesn't make sense to make like a new platform
right,
that's gonna have in time completely the same features as the previous one, the Bybit Global. But it's just the way it is, and I mean, it's gonna be very safe once it's gonna be working and everything's gonna be in place. So it's fine. But still, you know, if you go on chain to trade like memes and pump fund and stuff, you will never be protected. And but at the same time, by definition, if you go to these places, you should know the risk. You should, and I would like probably not my grandma is gonna go on pump fund and buy stuff with all her money.
Obviously,
so it's gonna be always someone who is very gambler or should be aware of the risks.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for this introduction. Now that we kind of got the gist of what you do, who you are, etc., I would like to move a little bit further into the trading part of things. So maybe if you could tell us something about your trading style. What do you actually trade? Do you enjoy pump fund? Do you use the Bybit? Do you use Mubite prop firms?
I do.
What is it that you...
I do a lot of like everything, but I try to more and more focus on like just more specific types of trading. Since I mean, one thing is, you know, if you are in a community, you can always share ideas for trading, for NFTs, whatever. Like, there's always something to trade in the market, and it doesn't have to be necessarily, you know, buying a coin or shorting a coin. It can be some sort of strategies that you buy the underlying asset, let's say Bitcoin on spot, and you short it on perps, and you earn the funding fee. So there's, and sometimes on specific coins, the funding fee can be 100% APR. So you are earning, let's say, almost like 1% daily for holding Bitcoin or any other currency and shorting it at the same time. So, so it can be.
Sorry, but the way, okay, so that is the strategy that you utilize on big coins like Bitcoin. Is there any like, so obviously with Bitcoin, Ethereum, you can do these things, but with things like meme coins,
obviously,
is that a plausible strategy?
You cannot. So with meme coins, it's all about being early.
And so is that more, so you'd say Bitcoin and perps on Bitcoin and the classical coins, you would there use a data-driven analysis
obviously.
for that. And then for meme coins, you go community.
So for meme coins, you just have to be early. Right now with the pump fund live streams, all you have to do is just 24/7 watch the live streams. You find something interesting. Like I told you guys today that there is like a fat guy and he's trying to lose weight. He's trying to raise money for his mom that has cancer, and he's streaming 24/7. Even when he sleeps, when he's on the treadmill, he's streaming. And when you find something like this and it has low market cap, which you need to know what low market cap is, but you know, by experience, you find out.
By definition, what would you say is a low market cap? Is it?
I mean, anything below. I mean, it depends on your style, but I know people that wouldn't buy anything over $200,000 market cap. So
wouldn't buy over or below?
Over.
Okay.
Because if you buy,
so if it's at 200,000, you already think it's too late.
Yeah, let's say you buy something at $1 million market cap. For it to make 100x, it needs to go to $100 million market cap, which is quite a lot. There's not that many coins that have this capitalization. So it's all about like being nonstop online. Anytime there's something happening, like last week on, I believe it was Wednesday, Charlie Kirk, the famous MAGA influencer, was shot.
Right.
And when I saw the news on my Telegram, I instantly was like, there will be a coin about this.
Right.
Because every time someone dies or says something ridiculous, there is a coin being made about this specific topic.
Let me just jump into that. If you obviously Charlie Kirk dying is a tragedy, and its political problematics doesn't matter. It's a tragedy. So when it comes to the moral, like dissolution of the event that happened, is it okay to actually launch a Charlie Kirk?
No, it's not okay to launch it, like, for sure. I mean, especially right now with Pump Fund, the creator earns like 1% of the trading fees. So that means, and there was like a ton of volume. I think he made $200,000 within like the evening of the debt. And I mean, if he's gonna donate all this money to their family, I mean, it's at least better than if he's gonna keep the money.
Right.
But obviously, I mean, I traded like 3 of these coins, but then I was like, it's really sickening to do something like this. But it's just it's kind of in your brain, because last time there was this famous squirrel that died. It ran to $1 billion market cap, and I know people that could get incredibly rich off of that. So I was like, it could be a big narrative. Obviously, it's super sad, and this it's very twisted. I agree. Yeah.
Anyways,
stepping
off a little bit off of your trading styles. So we got through Bitcoin and the main coins. You do data-driven trading.
We could talk about just a little bit about the Bitcoin trading.
Your strategies on the larger coins.
Yeah. So let's dive into it. I mean, it depends. So always when you trade, you should check the overall market. So right now we are, I would say, in kind of like a greed phase. So you should always look for longs.
Right. So market sentiment is
pretty good.
Key indicators.
It's pretty good.
Start looking.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, the market sentiment can change a lot.
Right.
So sometimes if you are not early to market sentiment like changing or the shift, you can bet on changing of this narrative. So which is it's always changing. Like you never get 6 months of greed and then 6 months of like fear. It usually changes every, I don't know, 2-3 months. Really, it depends. So obviously there's many indicators to check for the greed.
What are like the key indicators that you actually use on for example, if you trade on Bybit?
The funding. You can always, I mean, my strategy is very simple. Is you find a good coin or a bad coin,
right?
And I always try to keep some short exposure and some long exposure. So if the market pumps or dumps, you make money either way. And ideally, you find a good coin that's gonna do really good in like a trending market, and the other coin is kind of like a hedge, and it can be coin with huge inflation, etc. But if I was gonna say one thing, if you wanna short some coins, it's super dangerous for the account, because if you think about it, if you long a coin and let's say you buy 1 Bitcoin, like the worst scenario that can happen is you lose all the money that you put into it. On the other hand, if you short 1 Bitcoin, it can go to $1 million the next day, and you are at a loss of $1 million.
Right.
So it's always helpful if you want to short some coins, short a basket of coins, like 10 coins. The more coins you short, obviously, you have to lower the size. But let's say you are long $1,000 on Bitcoin, and you want to be short 10 different coins for $100 each, because one of them can squeeze like really hard. Like I've seen coins that pumped 600% or 1,000% within days. And the tricky part is sometimes the market cap, like the fully diluted valuation. So the number of, if all the coins were in circulation times the price, it doesn't make sense. Like the valuation could be in billions, and the project can be making $100 from fees a day, which is ridiculous. So it doesn't make sense. But
to sustain the growth,
what these people behind these projects can do is, let's say there isn't 100% of the coins in circulation, but only 10. And what they do is they take their money, they go on spot, they buy the spot. Everyone is shorting on perps, which is making the funding negative. So they are paying for being short. And when they raise the price with the spot, they're gonna liquidate these guys. So and then they're pushing. So I've seen it so many times.
Okay, quite a complex analysis of that, but let's simplify it a little bit for people that are listening. So when you first look at the chart, or when you come into trading, obviously you look at the sentiment, you see the sentiment, and that's how you choose the first coin that you will be longing. That's
so
the indicator for that.
So that's
and to hedge that, you then utilize the 3 to 5.
You can hedge it so that you are sort of neutral, let's say. But usually you should be always more long than short.
Right.
So you should
setting proper stop losses for the shorts, or do you like kind of let it? You mark the price to be equal on both sides so that it hedges perfectly.
I mean, it depends. I don't like stop loss because I've seen so many times that my stop loss was like the turning point for the chart, and then
we all do.
Because usually, but I mean sometimes there are coins like the IP protocol. I was shorting last week, and it did like on a huge market cap 60% within a few hours. And then if you don't have the like, it depends. If you trade on like a huge size or the huge position for this trade, you should have a stop loss. But and I've seen one guy on Twitter, he lost $1 million within those 6 hours because he didn't set a stop loss.
Right.
So yeah, you should always be more long than short. That's for sure, because the market should always go up more than it's gonna go down more. Because always when you trade a short, and when you short one Bitcoin, right now it's $100,000. The most you can make is if it goes to zero. That's $100,000. So you can always make 99 or 100% of your investment on longs. You can make million. So yeah.
I mean, now that the market is a little more saturated, that's probably not the reality, but yeah, I mean, in a sense, it makes sense to hedge your risk. So I think this kind of explains how do you hedge your risks. And
what I look for is usually funding. You can see it on Bybit. Usually it's every 8 hours. Sometimes they can change the funding intervals to sort of play with it around. Because sometimes if there is a short squeeze, that means a lot of people are shorting. So the funding is negative, because usually every 8 hours it should be 0.01%. On Bybit, it's actually really good to long, because usually, I don't know why, but for most coins it's usually 0.005 instead of 0.001
for shorting.
For longing, because you are not paying. You're paying half to long on different exchanges. On smaller one, it's usually the other way around.
As an added 0.5, not
so you can short on different exchanges and long on Bybit. So I would suggest go long on Bybit. And what I look for is liquidations, which you can choose. You can check it on Velodata, Coin Analyze, Coin Glass, because liquidation is forced buy or forced sell. So usually for selling, it usually marks the bottom, and for shorts, it usually marks the top as well. So if the funding is super negative with a good coin, right now it's happening on Athena or ENA, it doesn't make sense. You are longing the coin with leverage, and you are getting paid like $20 every 4 hours right now. I mean, it depends on your size. And what I suggest, like, never short coins with negative funding, because usually these coins have the price for futures is lower than the spot. It means someone is trying to short this coin on purpose more than someone is actually trying to sell on spot. And if you control spot, you control the market.
Right. Okay. So you always use spot as an indicator for what should be the long position as well, alongside with the sentiment. It's not only the sentiment of the market.
It's all like complex scenario.
And so if we were to put it for people that are watching this in, let's say, 5 simple. Obviously, it's not that simple.
Very simple.
Let's simplify it a lot.
Yeah, very simple
setup. So we're looking at liquidation zones.
If the funding, as I said, it could be, if it's negative for a good coin like BTC, Solana, it usually marks the bottom. It doesn't have to, obviously.
Getting a long position.
But if you want to go short, you want to look for coins with super big funding rate, because people are paying a ton of money to long. But if you long a coin on futures, you have to close it at some point, because you're paying the fees, and you want to make money quickly compared to spot. So if I see overheated market with BTC around all-time highs, and I see super random coins like Mudeng or Peanut that already pumped before, and I see they have a huge funding, it's usually a really good short.
It's indicator of a reversal of the trend.
Yes.
Going
I mean,
down.
it can still pump like 10, 20%, whatever. But if you're gonna short it, you are gonna be paid a lot. If the funding is like 0.1% every 8 hours, it's really good to short it.
Okay, so going from the strategy into more of a when did this strategy actually work out for you? So do you remember a trade that you maybe screwed up big time, or a strategy that you used this used this strategy that you screwed up, or other way around? It can be even when you profited.
I got usually burned by not following the strategy, which was on the IP, and there is a mix. It's called MYX, and that's again another coin. I wasn't shorting this coin, luckily, but people are.
So you don't. What was the name of the coin again?
Mix.
Okay, yeah.
And they paid. They're paying 2% every hour to be able to short this coin. From your position, you are paying 2% every 1 hour. So
that is insane.
It's insane. And they are keeping the price so high with the spot buying, and they are liquidating the shorts. It pumped from, I think it did like 500x from May, and it did like 20x within last 2 weeks. So I wasn't shorting this one, but I've seen so many people get burned on this one, because they're like.
So in 50 hours, you basically paid for your position.
Yes.
That's
It's insane. It's insane, but at the same time, people know that they wanna try to catch the top of the move, and they know this thing when it falls, it's gonna go down 99%. But still, it's always better to long coins, as I said, than to short.
Right. Okay. All right. So right now we're in the midst of a bull market, or some could say that we're kind of stagnating. We're going sideways rather than up and down, but we've been going up and down good amount. So what I'd be interested in is seeing, do crypto cycles still repeat in your opinion? Are we seeing any differences with the ETFs being below? We crossed the 5% of Bitcoin being owned by US businesses. So how do you see this going into 2026, 27?
I mean, I think we will have to see once we go past Q4 this year. But for sure, I mean, for BTC, there is no longer like cycles, I would say. It's always gonna go forever with up forever with like S&P 500, as long as S&P 500 is doing well, which right now it is. I mean, since the lows, we are up like 30% on the S&P, which is a huge amount. It's not normal.
But it is the case that Bitcoin is a little bit delayed behind S&P. So are we still kind of like waiting for Bitcoin to do a little bit more?
I mean, right now it's tied to gold as well. And usually gold makes the all-time high first, and then BTC follows. But to be honest, I'm not like a big fan of these cycles, and I feel like
you try to avoid those things.
We're kind of like between like a risk on and a risk off mode. So sometimes that the market is not great, which it's always like peak euphoria,
peak euphoria.
And then peak fear. So we had like peak like fun time in like January, and then we had peak fear in what was it, April. So it's like 3 months of, let's say, fear, and it's tricky to flip, because it's difficult to it's hard when you are like making money and all of a sudden you're like, well, I have to sell everything now and wait 3 months. It's super difficult to do. And at the same time, after 3 months of getting, poor every single day, it's really hard to go all in when you should really.
Right.
So
So what you're saying is that timing the market precisely based upon cycles, right? Being like in January, I'm all in March, I'm going out, because from April until September, the market was kind of, not much was happening. And we're waiting for the FOMC and things like that to kind of give us a macro indicator of what's going to be happening. But then what you're saying, and I see that more and more across crypto traders, that cryptos is kind of becoming a here to stay thing. It's not anymore a thing that, like, I had somewhere in my wallet, I bought 2 Bitcoins in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing.
It becomes a proper commodity that's traded.
Yeah, but that's the thing we all thought in 2021, that crypto was here to stay, and then all of a shitstorm happened. So I believe this year into the year end could still be a really good market. Next year probably shouldn't be as great, even though like everyone is kind of thinking the same, which is funny, because usually when everyone is thinking the same,
the hive mind,
it doesn't actually happen, because everyone was thinking in August that September is usually super bearish. Every single year before the final bull run, September was bearish, and this year we marked the bottom of the 1st of September, and then we went up only. So everyone was getting bearish already in August when it was front running. They were trying to sell and get out of positions. So yeah, I mean, every single cycle is different, and there's always or always has been something that made the bull run go up, or it was leverage every single time. So in 2017 we had ICOs, and the whole industry was super small. In 2021 we had another leverage from like funds, so FTX, Terra Luna and stuff like that. That was propelling the bull run. This year or this bull market, there's nothing like this compared to, like, there's ETFs, there is Sailor, there is digital asset treasuries, which are making coins go up, but only some of them.
I mean, the courts stopped, the Ripple Labs thing stopped, and all that stuffing with the jurisdiction.
So I think what usually marks like the top is some major event, and then some major event
we had Trump in the office again, so that kind of spiked the.
So yeah, I mean, it's always like looking for huge events that completely shift the market, which was the launch of the ETF, and you could bet on it heavily since it was sort of approved, which was in I think September or October 2023, and ever since then, if you just bought Bitcoin, you made like 4x or something. So for me, it's looking for these events that are like shaping the industry, and it can be events like the FTX collapse, which marked the bottom, and then at the same time, we had the FTX was supposed to repay the Solana. They were supposed to liquidate their holdings in September 2023 or around this time. And this marked the bottom for Solana as well. Solana was $20 in September. By Christmas, it was $100, because everyone was getting super bearish on Solana. And usually, when everyone is super bullish or super bearish on an asset, it doesn't work out well.
Perfect. So that's an opportunity for you guys to spot this difference and this pattern in trading. Okay, we're running through the questions without me even asking them.
Okay.
But one thing that might be interesting for the 2024, 2025, whatever you want to call it, bullish market, is the MiCA compliancy in Europe, and Bybit being compliant with this. Binance, on the other hand, focusing more on the US markets. And how do you think MiCA in itself has stopped the increase in volatility or upwards trend after the Trump election? do you see a correlation between these two events, or do you think those are completely separate and Europe doesn't have that big of a say in cryptocurrencies anymore?
Yeah, not really. I mean, Europe is super small compared to the rest of the market. But I mean, yeah, it sucks. Like when he first saw the effects it could have on the market, it wasn't great. But I mean, in the end, I feel it's gonna be the same. So,
as you mentioned before,
yeah,
we're building same platform like that.
It's gonna be mostly the same platform. Maybe they're gonna try to make it less gambling looking like a platform. And I believe like there's things that should be regulated, and they probably will not be.
Right.
Things like when you use like a casino account online, and when you put in a lot of money, and they are regulated, they should give you like a warning that you just put in your 2 monthly salaries and you just lost it on like slots or whatever. If you do the same things,
you mean crypto casinos or general casinos?
General casinos, licensed. If you do this on a crypto exchange, no one is asking you anything. You can put in millions of crowns or whatever dollars. No one is stopping you from losing it within a few seconds. So there should be some rules for gambling, because crypto trading is gambling.
The volatility
in a sense, and it's super risky. So they're gonna try to like make the leverage smaller for the accounts, for the retail accounts. But still, even with 10x leverage, you can liquidate the account within a day. So it doesn't actually change too much. And for like real traders, giving you access to bigger leverage is actually super beneficial. And I'm not talking about like having your whole account on 20x leverage, but if you have, let's say, $100,000 and you want to open like this big of a position, you only need to use like 1/10 for your account. So that's why leverage should be used, because generally you should be, let's say you have $1 million in your bank account or in your crypto portfolio, but you don't want to have $1 million on an exchange. So you only want to have $200,000, let's say, on the exchange. The rest should be in cold storage, or should be in like a stablecoin farms or Bitcoin, whatever, and you don't trade with that. But you are using the leverage on the exchange, so you can leverage the $200,000 account
to make up that million.
To make it up.
Yeah, but not essentially using more than 5x or. I mean, using more than 5x is a little bit.
But I mean, you can leverage the $200,000 accounts to $300,000 account, or even a little bit more. And it's still super safe because you are only using part of or all accounts. So.
Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to let's just run back to the narratives in crypto nowadays. So we were talking about meme coins, we talked about Bitcoin. How about projects like the AI projects? Are we a DeFi? What are the thoughts that, like, when you think about what's gonna last for more than this bull run? What's actually useful out of this? Is AI just a bubble that's kind of correlated to what's happening in the US about?
Yeah, it's bubble. I mean, most of projects are just pure scams. I mean, not necessarily that they're gonna try to scam you, but they're just building products that they don't have a product market fit. They have a huge funding, huge valuation. They are not making any money, because if you look at the top 10 or 20 protocols or apps in crypto, the first one is Tether. They are making $2 to $4 million daily. Circle is also like number 2. Then there is Pump Fun. There's Hyperliquid, and there is Pump Fun and Hyperliquid, and maybe one more, Axiom. And 3 of these platforms out of these 5 top revenue earning protocols are trading platforms. So there's no real use case for crypto other than saving your money into Bitcoin as like a digital gold, using stable coins, and then just trading vaporware that doesn't actually make any sense. So
Utilizing smart contracts for things.
Yeah, so
some of it is useful.
Yeah, but
that's a very
still, if you look at
one
it,
single use.
yeah, but if you look at it, Ethereum and Solana, they are making, I believe, $100,000 daily in fees, which is a tenth of what's making pump fun on meme coins.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, Solana for me is a great project, and it makes sense. It's the place where you want to keep your stables because you can send it to anyone super fast, super cheap.
Right.
And for me, it's useful. Ethereum, for me, it doesn't make sense. They never scaled too quickly.
Yeah.
They focused on layer 2s, but I never know anyone who's actually genuinely using layer 2s as like a superior solution to Solana. Because like if I were to show crypto to my mom, I would download her Phantom app for Solana, and she's gonna be able to use it probably within a week. But with layer 2s, like she's gonna be exchanging the money between their networks. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's
so
too complex.
So you need to focus on user experience, which for me Solana is doing the best.
Right.
And for the rest of the market, it's all about narrative. So they're gonna sell you that this token is gonna do this, do that, but you should always focus on like the first thing should be, is this protocol generating revenue? So you are looking at it as in like is it like I mean, crypto is kind of like a stock for some projects, and if it's making money, if it's buying back the token, then it's worth investing. But usually
the value is essentially decided by
the
branding of the coin.
And sometimes you see protocols like PumpFun with their valuation of I don't know, the fully diluted is $8 billion. The real is like $2 billion. And every single day they're buying back their token on spot with all the fees they make, which is roughly right now is $2 million. So if you times that by a year, they're gonna buy back their whole market cap within a year with these buybacks. Obviously, it's not gonna last. But that was like a event or opportunity that we saw, and it did like almost 200% when everyone realized it's gonna be bought
it's gonna be bought out back to what it was. Okay, perfect. So I think we kind of covered all the trading strategies. What are the protocols that we trust, what we don't trust, the Bitcoin market cycles, etc. And right now we're at Mubite. Obviously, we're talking about crypto trading, and we kind of talked about what PumpFund can do for you, what cannot do, what Bybit can do for you, what they cannot. When we come to proprietary trading and firms like that you mentioned in the beginning, what do you think is the biggest advantage, and how should it actually, let's grab it as a tool, let's use it as a tool. It's not a means to an end to becoming rich. That's not what prop firm will do for you essentially. So you need to use prop firms as a tool. So how would you advise people to use prop firms?
So
especially crypto prop firms.
I mean, it always depends like what's their situation. But usually the situation is always the same. Like they have $1,000 or $2,000 in their account. They can have some stocks, whatever, and they kind of like flirt with crypto. It really depends what they are capable of, and if they prefer trading on leverage on futures. I think it's a great way to go. Obviously, they should probably first start on like a demo account, find if their strategy is profitable long term, and they should actually write down, or maybe like trading on demo isn't like super useful because you should trade with your own money.
I think I was just going to touch upon that. In my opinion, trading on demo yourself without any stakes is not like simulating the real market, because obviously you need to have money, and the moment you put money in, the sentiment, emotions, everything goes up. And so I think with prop trading and crypto prop trading especially, it gives you that little bit of an edge to kind of getting the feel of how it actually is in real life. But it's no way close to how it's actually in real life. But it's way further from just trading on demo. So it's a good stepping stone for people that are trying to get into, okay, I actually want to become a trader, or maybe I don't want to become a trader, I just want to try it out and see how I'm actually doing. And then that could be a little stepping stone with some stakes being played in the game.
Yeah.
Because at some point you can end up paying $2,000 for an account, and if you lose it, that will sting you, essentially. So if that's all the money that you have. So I'd be looking at to like, yes, I can confirm that, but also thinking that there is some kind of leverage to using prop firms.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, again, it depends on your style. Obviously, with prop firms, they're more strict than you on if you trade on a real account, which. But in the end, it could be beneficial for you, because if you learn to work with these rules, then once you go on real account, it's a good habit to have, because I've seen.
Do you find the rules reasonable?
I mean, yeah, they're pretty strict, to be honest. But in the end, it does make sense, because if people risk 50% of their account on a single trade, I mean, it is gonna work out many times, but then for one time it's not gonna work out. And I've seen many people burn their accounts by holding like really long swing positions. Like let's say on Solana, I've seen a guy. He was longing Solana from $220, and he was hoping for another try at like $200 and selling there. But he was just adding more and more to the position. He got liquidated below $100 on Solana, and then the whole market just turned green again, and we started going up. But he was out of money. So if he was doing this on a prop account, he would lose the account so many times, and he would be like, okay, let's just evaluate my strategy. And let's say the same account, if he had $30,000 in his real account, he would just lose all the money. Instead, if he bought like 10 times $3,000 account, or for $3,000 the account, it would be much better. And even if he could get the account liquidated 5 times, and then the 6th time is going to work out, you're going to find the bottom. I mean, obviously it's not the great strategy, but it would still be a lot better. He would save some money and even make real money on the move.
And with like Mubite, you can obviously buy for $3,000 and an instant funding account. Which is the best value for it, if you want to do this kind of trading. Obviously, once or twice it's not going to work out, but maybe the 3rd time it will, and it will pay off all the money that you've put in. And so that brings me into question. So currently, the way of you collaborating with Mubite and Bybit together, how did that happen, and why did you decide to go into that direction?
So I was working with Bybit actually since 2023, I believe. I was reached out by, or maybe even I reached out to them, because on Binance I was never able to trade that well on futures. I mean, for spot is great, but for futures it's not that great. And they changed it to Binance futures credits, so you have to swap your dollars to their sort of like dollars, which is not actually a dollar, but it's just credit. And then it's due to the MiCA compliance, because they were not allowed to do futures anymore with stable coins, with USDT. So I started working with Bybit. Then last year I was invited to Bybit event in Dubai, and then all of a sudden in December or something, they announced the MiCA compliance, and we weren't allowed to promote Bybit and Binance, in fact, at the same time anymore, since or until basically we got the MiCA license. Right now we can promote it only Bybit, but I was invited to Vienna, where we met the founder of Bybit, which is Ben Zhou. And I mean, he's a cool guy. I know him before, and the cool thing about Bybit is you can meet the CEO on this event. And in Dubai, I had someone, and he reached out to me, and he was having problems with his account, or his dad has a Bybit account, and he had some issues with Emirates ID, whatever. And I was at the party. I asked the Ben, and he was like, "Yeah, just send me a message on Telegram. I'm gonna sort it out," which is incredible. So if you compare it to Binance, you will never get even like close to Changpeng Zhao
the customer support that comes
to get. So it was great. And then
so the reliability is obviously case for you.
it's better. And yeah, we had like a Czech part of Binance here until 2024. They decided to shut it down completely.
Right.
To the contrary, Bybit did the opposite. They opened this position, and right now we have Czech support, which is great. And obviously there is some hiccups with Mubite EU still, because sometimes when you send money to Bybit EU, due to the travel rule, which is again like a completely useless European thing, you need to say like, where is this money coming from? Is it coming from you? And sometimes you say it's coming from me, or there's no such option. You should say the name. You write in your name, and they say no, that's wrong, and they freeze your deposit for. Right now it takes like 2 hours, but for the first time it was like 3 days. So there is some hiccups, but when you know that you can talk to the people with any issue that you might have, it's just great.
Okay, and so then, becoming a Bybit partner and Mubite being partnered with Bybit, what do you think that then guided you into going towards Mubite collaborating?
Yeah, I mean,
Itself?
It's mutually beneficial, and it's obviously using the Bybit platform, which I find probably the best in the world for trading.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's like mutually all beneficial. And when I first heard about it, I was a little bit skeptical, because I was already approached by some other companies. But when I tried it out, I was like, yeah, it works fine. And I was like, this is the issue that most people that follow me have, because I show them, I made like $12,000 within last week, and the week before, and the week before. But I'm trading with like a huge account, so for them it's not achievable at all, since they trade with maybe $12,000.
And having a fraction of those,
and usually
would make big difference.
Yeah, and usually less. So I make like I do a trade, let's say on Fartcoin, and I made like $80,000 just before the summer. But the position was $300,000. Like, it was a huge position. So I made, it was like the percentage was huge. But even for people like that followed me, they would make like $1,000 maybe. So I was like, this is finally the solution for people that don't have too much money and are good traders, profitable traders. It's a good solution for them.
And I guess that would be everything that I wanted to talk about today. Thank you again for coming into the Mubite offices. Thank you again for being part of the team, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you.